What's going on, guys? So this is going to be a little bit like a bonus video, but I sort of wanted to talk about a little bit. I just wanted to say that changing your major is completely okay. And I know that application, college applications are coming around right now. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not really transferring. I'm still in college, but I am not planning on transferring to a 4 year university right now. I just don't think that it's the right thing for me. And I think that, of course, it's really expensive right now. And the ROI, I can't really justify it right now because I'm still trying to find myself. But anyways, that's a little bit about me and where I'm at. But I do want to sort of explain why it's okay, and just for people to just sort of relax right now. So I have a little bit of a backstory. So I when I entered college, it was actually, I think, maybe like 9 months after graduating from high school. Um, One, okay, let me step back even further. I was terrible at school. I had a zero point 0.5 GPA for 3 straight years. A lot of that had to do with my father passing away, and just the trauma from that. And I had a lot of anger, a lot of sorrow in me, and I couldn't focus on something like that at the moment. And just classroom sizes, terrible teachers. Systematically, it was not working for me. And so during my junior year of high school, I was actually transferred out, more like, and that's how they put it, but they kicked me out. But fine, okay, starting a new school. It was actually a lot closer to me, as about halfway closer to me. I lived in the south part of my town, and the high school was north, and the school I went to was more in the central area. But I digress. So of course, I had to pretty much redo 3 years of high school and sort of try to make it that way. I I eventually did so, and I graduated on time. But I didn't know what to do after that. After high school, it's just sort of like the Wild West, I would say. And it's kind of hard to really determine where you want to go after that. Do you work for the next 40 years, 42 years of your life and wait for a paycheck? And then retire, and then, do you go to school? Do you go to the military? Do you start a business? Like, there wasn't really a whole lot of, I would say, like, there's not a whole lot of direction, and really nobody's gonna give it to you. So you're just kind of out there on your own. And what I did for a really long time was work. I worked at Target because I had another job, and they fired me because I was going through a really bad breakup at that time, and it affected my performance, and so they fired me. Um, no hard feelings, but they had to do what they had to do. So I started working at Target, and I met some really cool people. I really love the culture that they built for themselves, and I think, in all honesty, Target really helped me out with building character and building a personality. Um, because I probably would have been a lot more introverted than a lot more introverted now if it wasn't for Target. So I was a cashier, and I was also on the sales floor. I was at Grid Services, you name it. So I was there, and then I didn't know really what to do, and I remember two of my friends, and if they're watching this, I would love you guys to comment. Chris, or Briss, how I like to call him. My friends Briss, Sean, and David, they all came back from school, and we were on a group call, and I called them, and they were all coming back from the same school, and I kind of got uh, FOMO. And I was just like, dang, like why can't I do that? Like, holy cow. And then I just out of FOMO, I decided to sign up for community college because no 4-year university wants someone with a zero point 0.5 GPA. So I I signed up for college. I got my first couple of classes, and my first quarter was the worst quarter I've ever had. Ever. Like, whew, I failed math. I had to withdraw from that. I remember crying to my mom and said, "Why am I so bad at this subject?" And I first of all, I do want to preface this. I have never asked. I've Every time I asked money from my mom for college, I always paid her back in full, no matter what. I don't expect my parents to pay for my college tuition whatsoever, and I don't think anybody should expect that from their parents. Um, but back to the point, I didn't know what major to pick. I know I wanted to do film and television, but the intellectual part of my brain told me to go more into political science or mechanical engineering. I have a little bit of interest in both of those, but it just it wasn't just deep enough as much as film and television production. Um, but you know, I just went for it. I went for it. I mean, I was only like 20 years old, and you know, it's what I'm gonna do for the next 40 years, or the day I drop dead. You know, so I think that when people choose their majors, they're thinking about what are they, what's gonna make the most stable income. And I'm gonna be honest, there is no stable income. Let me tell you why. Because right now, everybody has to stay home. And that means people who are programmers, there are people losing their jobs who probably, um, thought that it was a stable job, but it's really not. Um, and, healthcare workers, while, of course their jobs are being fulfilled, they're getting so overwhelmed by everything. And it's, I also think it's sort of ridiculous that how they have to put up with just a bunch of bull crap, but that's another thing. Um, so yeah, there is no stable income. You just have to make things do. And if you're doing something that you're passionate in, you're always gonna find a way to survive. Always. Um, and that's how you lead a purposeful life and just a regular, just do what you love is what I'm saying. No matter what. Like, it took me, I'd say about 8 years to really figure out exactly what I wanted to do. It was more. It took 22 years for me to figure out what the hell I want to do. Um, so nobody has it figured out. There's people who are in their 30s, who are in their 40s, who are just figuring things out and just finally just have this light bulb in their head. And they, sometimes it's too late. You already started a family or whatnot. Then, I mean, of course you could still do it. Colonel Sanders started his business in his 60s. So, I mean, in my opinion, the only time it's too late is when your heart beats for the last time. Because the only thing that's stopping you isn't having money. It's not your access to opportunity, and it's not having, the right connections or whatnot. It's none of that. It's time. It's time and passion. That's what's holding you back. You need to find your passion. You need to be aware of your passion. Because, Jeff Bezos actually said this. You don't choose your passion. Your passion actually chooses you, but you need to be aware of that. And if you're aware to that, and if you're just, having your ear to the ground and you're just in tune with yourself, then you will succeed in life. and really acting on that, acting on those passions as soon as you can, that you are going to succeed in life. But that's going to be it for me. Um, just a little bonus video for you guys. Um, so yeah, sort of off the cuff, but I really hope that this helps someone.